as a race, we've been sitting around a campfire for thousands of years. And just something about that, I think, is almost kind of programmed into everybody.
Welcome to Wild Development Studio. Join us as we venture into the breathtaking realm of wildlife arts and untamed adventures. With captivating stories from the field and ideas to dive into the visual arts, we'll ignite your passion for conservation. Get ready to develop something wild.
Welcome to Wild Developments. I am your host, Lauren, and just in time for Easter, we have Landa and Tom on today's show. They are the creators of The Adventures of Granola Squatch and the Mysterious Egg, a delightful Easter and springtime book for kids. We also talked about their other recent book, Franklin the Firefly, The Glow Within, a story about a firefly who doesn't glow and discovers that anything is possible when you believe in yourself. This dynamic duo crafts tales that spark imagination and bring joy to little hearts with their company, Gamma Burst Books. Both are wordsmiths. Tom, the illustrator, brings tales to life with his artistry, and Landa is a multifaceted individual who actively contributes to the publishing process. Well, Tom and Landa, thank you so much for talking with me today.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
You guys had two books released within less than a year of each other. Both are kind of nature themed. We've got Franklin the Firefly, The Glow Within, and The Adventures of Granola Squatch and the Mystery Egg, an Easter and springtime book for kids. Can you tell us a little bit more about both these books?
So Franklin the Firefly is about a firefly that was born with no glow. And through, he gets picked on, and he goes through a lot of things growing up. He's bullied. He ends up being kind of told to go away. And so he ends up in this other town that is basically a big junkyard. And he meets all these other kind of unsavory characters and bugs there. And there's an old grizzled beetle that kind of gives him direction and kind of tells him, hey, you can't run away from your problems. Everybody at some point gets picked on. We're all kind of human there, or buggish, I guess, in this case. And so, Franklin thinks about it, and he's like, he's kind of on the fence with, I kind of like just to stay here. They were kind of mean to me and picked on me. And it's at that point that one of his friends that he did hang out with, where he used to live, came and found him and said, hey, your other fireflies are in a jam, and they got themselves caught in a jar. And it's like, it's kind of, do you want to help them or not? And he really kind of searches his heart if he wants to actually help them or not. And I don't know if I should really give away the cliffhanger ending here, if he does or not, but it all turns out in the end. And Franklin does accept his uniqueness of not glowing.
That's a beautiful story because, as kids are going to read this, and, everybody kind of gets picked on from time to time. And then what do? Should we treat them in kind, or do we help them out if they need help? So that, and embracing who you are is a great message to tell kids.
A lot of people refer to it as the reverse Rudolph story.
I was kind of thinking that does sound a little bit like Rudolph there.
Right.
And so did you have to do a lot of research as far as bugs and your inspiration for the bugs?
The research I did was trying to pick out some pretty funny characters. Where's my inspiration for the characters in the book? And once I had, I did a bunch of sketches with Franklin, and he evolved probably 4 or 5 times onto the last image I actually went with. And that was kind of the same with the other bugs in it. I wanted some bugs that were kind of looked down on in a way, because then it would give it more organic feel when he leaves the Oak Prairie, his home, and he travels to this other Hobbs Hollow, this kind of unsavory place. I kind of wanted the bugs to almost reflect what they are in real life. Like the grizzled beetle that takes him under his wing is actually a dung beetle. So kind of giving that kind of aura about the whole image there.
And you've got little trading cards to go along with the book.
We made trading cards for each of the characters he runs into, and they're packs of 24, so he runs into all sorts of different bugs. And there's a lot of them are fireflies, a lot of them are the characters that he runs into in Hobbs Hollow, and it's been fun. They've got a fun fact on the back, but they also actually have a real fact of the bug too. So it's kind of the kids can trade them, or they can actually learn from them too. And we've actually taken the cards camping, and once we've read the book to a bunch of kids, they actually will trade the cards, and it's really fun to see.
That is fun. That almost reminds me of Pokemon cards, but better because you got real facts about real bugs. So do you guys each have a favorite character and favorite bug fact?
Franklin, of course, I like just because of what he goes through, and it's kind of similar to my own life in some of the bullying and stuff that I went to. It's actually dedicated to me in the beginning because of some of the things I went through. So I would have to say Franklin is my favorite.
I would have to say probably Darnell, the dung beetle. Mm-hmm. He's just a happy-go-lucky character, and he tries to give Franklin sound advice that he never had growing up. So I think he's a pretty fun character.
That is fun. Have you guys ever heard of the synchronizing fireflies in Gatlinburg?
Yes, that's amazing.
You guys should bring the book down there when people are down looking at the fireflies.
Yes, I heard that. I believe it's in Kentucky or Tennessee, and they actually hold a lottery. Mm-hmm. Only so many people can actually see this, and apparently it's amazing. You can't even take a phone or a camera with a flash, I guess, to record anything, because they just want just to be in awe of the moment, because it's such a dance at night of these fireflies. It'd just be amazing to see.
That'd be cool.
That would be incredible to see. Let's switch gears. Landa, can you tell us about Granola Squatch?
Sure. Granola Squatch, how he came about was when we were starting this about 3 years ago. Tom just drew a random picture of a little Bigfoot and had it on the refrigerator. And every day I'd go by and look at that, and I would say to him, he needs to be in a book. He needs to be a story. And finally we just decided, okay, let's do a story. And Tom used to live in Colorado. And when he lived in Colorado, there was people there called granola people. And they were just known as environmentally conscious and tree hugger.
Guy, and kind of loose clothes and hanging out, and I'm like, I talked to one of the clerks. I said, I didn't realize there's hippies around yet, And he's like, oh no, those are granola people. I said, they're different. And I'm like, really? I said, I've never heard that term. He goes, yeah, they like to drink tea and hang out, and they camp a lot, and you'll see a lot of them out there. It's a very friendly people. So I thought, I never heard the term, but I love it, So I thought, it's kind of a tribute in a way to the movement. I thought, Granola Squatch. Here's a Bigfoot that loves nature. He lives in perfect harmony with the animals in nature. He would be kind of a representation of a granola character. So that's where the term Granola Squatch came from. And it's been so fun. It's been so fun to do.
So then I decided to try authoring this time. Tom's other books were all written in verse, where this one I decided to do just in regular story mode. And we got a professional editor help us with it. And this book is more fun and entertaining. It's for a younger age. It's meant to get children reading and get parents and kids engaging. You know, in Granola Squatch, we want him to come across as, you know, groovy, peace-loving, hippie dude, you know, that just loves kindness. And we've got an entire series thought up around him. We're starting with the holiday-themed books, with the Easter, and then the next one will be a Halloween. And then we have a Christmas, and then we'll go Valentine's. And then after that, we've got, you know, a million more ideas. But we'll just see how that takes us.
What's fun about the whole theme of the Granola Squatch series is it's always going to have something mysterious or spooky or wondrous or magical. It's always going to have these nice big hooks in the books. And I think it's going to be educational and actually, you know, have some fun with it, you know, for the kids.
I say you have to have some sort of element of mystery with it if it's Bigfoot. And I saw Adventures of Granola Squatch. I'm like, I wonder if they have a series coming. So I'm really glad to hear that you guys have all these ideas, because it was such a fun journey seeing what happens with that.
Yeah,
We'll have 4 books out this year.
Wow.
So we'll have the Easter book, the Halloween book I'm actually currently working on, and then the Christmas book, and then a Valentine's Day book.
So you guys are super busy. So I guess let's back up. How do you guys, because you're a husband-wife team, how do you guys work together?
Well, if we don't kill each other, it works pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I start with the story. And then together we sit down and we kind of storyboard it. You know, we go through each page and we kind of say, you know what, this is how I see this looking. And then Tom will say, I see it looking like this. And then we'll fight a little bit.
And you know what, we've got a couple pages, you know, ready to go. And then I'll actually start working on the illustrations. And I'll actually load probably all the spreads of one book in, and then I'll start going through. And once we figure out this is the general feel and the direction, how we want the story to go, then I'll actually start sketching the images on, okay, I want a character here, he's addressing this issue with this character, and then we just kind of go from there.
And then I immediately start promoting it. As soon as I can, and getting the word out there that it's coming. And yeah.
We hold ourselves to deadlines just because, you know, you can procrastinate or put it aside, and it's something we really believe in, and we're really proud of it. So we really want to try to get, you know, the whole series up and going and out the door.
That's awesome. Are you guys going to have a big Granola Sasquatch mascot?
Maybe.
Well, there's rumors that somebody that we know may be making one for us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that'll be really cool.
Yeah.
I will keep an eye out on your guys' social media. You guys do a really good job keeping up with promoting everything.
Yeah, thanks.
So even your first book, A Time for Color, you guys had a lot, or I guess, Tom, you wrote and illustrated that one, right? Mm-hmm. There's still a lot of images of being outside in nature. Do you guys spend a lot of time outside?
Oh yes, we like to set up times where, you know, we'll take the day and we'll grab the bikes and we'll go on the bike paths in the area, or we'll say, hey, let's just grab a lunch and a cooler. Let's go here and we'll go hiking for the day. And other times she'll usually try to plan out pretty much our whole summer in spring for camping, because with camping so popular, which is great, you know, it's hard to get in and get reservations for different places. So we try to be proactive on getting the reservations in and just get out there and do it.
There's something so calming about being in nature.
Oh yeah.
When you just go for the hikes and you just kind of stop and breathe it in and you smell the leaves, and it's just very calming.
I don't know about like the evolution of mankind or paleontology, but you know, we've been, as a race, we've been sitting around a campfire for thousands of years. And just something about that, I think, is kind of almost kind of programmed into everybody.
There's something about just sitting around a campfire and telling stories
Mm-hmm. Yep.
that just makes you feel connected to everybody.
Yeah, it probably goes back thousands of years that they did it.
And what's your favorite place to go camping?
Oh, we have so many of them. Mostly it's like the state parks, because they seem to be a little bit not so close together, more trees, more nature type stuff. So, so any of the state parks have really been great.
Yeah.
I'm trying to normalize adults talking about their favorite animal.
Oh gosh, probably my dogger.
Yeah, I would have to say our dog.
I have to say that my Winston, you know,
I've seen pictures of him online. He's pretty cute.
Yeah, he's a sweetie, and yeah, I'm pretty biased with him, I guess.
Do you guys have a favorite memory from being outside?
Like currently, or like a long time ago, or
your favorite one ever?
Oh boy, favorite memory ever of being outside.
I mean, I guess mine was when I was little, and I had a big passion for Barbie dolls. So I had this big, huge camper that I got for Christmas that my parents put together for me. And I would go out in the backyard for hours and hours and hours and play with that camper like I was camping outside. I just remember that, and it was so fun and relaxing.
Sounds beautiful.
I think probably my dad is a big camper, traditional tent camper, and we just grew up tent camping with him, and he was always the cookie too, so he'd make everything from scratch right on the campfire. And I think probably any handful of memories, you know, taking that, I can't put my finger on one of them, because we always, you know, that was his passion. So being a young kid, you just kind of did what he liked too, and there was nothing wrong with that, but it was fun to do, and he made it actually fun. So, you know, we'd bring books along too, and of course, some of them that I actually have here are some Sasquatch books that we take around, and it was always a fun time.
Yeah,
just being outside.
You grew up on a farm.
Yeah.
So there was quite a few acres, and there was like park-like settings down in the valley, and so they spent a lot of time outside, making forts and.
We'd make bark huts and different lean-tos, and we got campsites. They've got about a 300-acre farm, and we've got campsites probably all over the place in different areas from different times we go camping as kids. So it was a blast out there.
Fun. Now, I gotta ask, do you guys believe in Bigfoot?
I do. I mean, I don't know. I think there's just a lot of overwhelming physical evidence that it would be more unrealistic to believe that there isn't something out there versus, you know, because if there isn't something out there, then you've got a lot of people running around hoaxing stuff. And I just don't think I don't think that's plausible. People are lazy, and I don't think they're going to want to spend their time doing that.
Yeah.
Especially the randomness. I mean, a lot of these reports, 3:00 in the morning, hunting season, someone in a monkey suit going to run across the road with a bunch of drunk hunters? I don't think so.
No, that'd be dumb.
So just, some of these instances that people run into. And then also we've got on board, some pretty reputable anthropologists that are into the phenomenon, just like like us. And they have some very compelling evidence that they bring forth with the anatomy and the structure of everything that makes me think like, there's still mystery out there. We don't really know too much about it.
Yeah, I agree. There are so many things in this world that we don't even know about that, who's to say that there isn't a Bigfoot running around out there? And it wasn't until kind of recently that the Komodo dragon was thought to be a cryptid.
Yeah, the Poppy and the Komodo dragon. I think it was the 30s possibly that the gorilla wasn't actually recognized by Western society or something.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
So I mean, it's I was always told that all folk tales or myths have some type of realism that it was drawn from, and it goes back hundreds of years with the Indians in the Northwest. Of why would they've got carvings of totems and actual heads carved that look like monkeys. Why would they carve something that looks like a monkey when they've never seen it? So
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's some mystery there.
Have you guys ever had a Bigfoot experience?
Not me.
I don't know. When I was a teenager, we were camping out in the pasture, and we heard like weird wood knocks and things like that. And we were camping. I don't know if we were just like freaking each other out or not, but we did see something in the moonlight kind of scamper under this big oak tree. And judging the next day by the size of the oak tree, I mean, it had to have been pretty good size. So is it something that was there or our imagination? I don't know, but it definitely kept us up all night after that. So
I believe it. I've heard wood knocks before, and because like we would do the wood knock first and we'd get a knock in return, and you're out in the middle of nowhere. And it's like, what is making this noise?
Right.
So that's interesting to me. I've also seen glowing eyes in the woods that you shine a flashlight on, and now all of a sudden you don't see it there. And I'm like, what could that possibly be? So it's very fascinating to me.
It's awesome. The whole cryptozoology phenomenon is just wonderful. There's so many things out there that we haven't discovered, and I think they said something like 10% of the ocean has only been really mapped. So I mean, we've got all sorts of mysteries just waiting for us. So I firmly believe that there's something out there that we don't know about.
Mm-hmm. I live in a small town in Ohio, and we have the Frogman.
Oh,
You're looking for book ideas further down the line.
well, you guys also have the Ohio Grassman.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And Mothman.
Is Mothman also reported? Yeah.
Yeah, he was it was Point Pleasant, West Virginia.
Uh-huh.
And the bridge connecting West Virginia and Ohio is what collapsed in, I believe it was the 50s, where people were seeing the Mothman.
It was the Silver Bridge, if I remember.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. And ever since then, it's been, if you see like a sighting or something, it's been something like prophetic of an impending danger, or it's a messenger of warning somebody of possible danger, is what I've heard.
Mm-hmm. And so it's just fascinating.
Oh yeah.
So you have 4 books coming out this year. What are your plans for next year? Are you going to take a break? Please tell me you guys are taking a long vacation.
Well, actually, our vacation this year is going to involve a big book summit that we're going to in Kansas City, and we're going to try to pitch to some distributors and some school fairs and see if we can get some type of a deal there. So it's kind of a big deal for us. So we're kind of turning that into our vacation as well. So
Oh, good.
yeah.
Which I get the fun part. I get to sit there and just draw. So she gets all the not so fun stuff,
Yeah,
I
right.
guess.
So the drawing process, how long, one page of a book,
Mhm.
how long does that take you to create?
Oh, probably 16 to 18 hours probably per spread.
And like each one is a work of art in and of itself. I mean, they're both, all three books are gorgeous.
I tried to do something different with Granola Squatch, and I'm using more Fresca brushes with it. And then I'm doing a different background that creates the different textures and effects. And I'm really loving the style for the series. And I really wanted it to be this way. I didn't want everything to be all perfect. I wanted it to almost have like a worn feeling to it when you're looking at it, almost like a old pair of blue jeans or something. Just something that is comfortable, it's pleasant, it's inviting to look at, and the kids can pick stuff out too.
Are you using Procreate? What program are you using?
Procreate.
Procreate.
Yep,
Okay.
Procreate. Wonderful platform.
Yes, I agree. Now, hopefully it makes some processes a little bit easier. Like you said, some of the brushes and things like that.
Yeah, I've got, you can save a favorites list, and I've got all my favorites put in there just for this series. Like I have a favorites just for Franklin and his brushes. And what's nice, I've got a new iPad this year, and what's nice about this one is she uses it for presentations, that she can do like a time lapse from regular charcoal sketching on it to actual finished product, and it does everything and it multiplies, and it's amazing. I don't realize, it's that involved until you got like 10,000 strokes or something, it says in there, and everything else, and it's like, oh wow, okay, yeah. But the kids love it. When we put it up on a screen, and they can see the time lapse of like building the character and then the background and everything, and the kids just really like that.
I saw the time lapse. You have that on your website.
Right.
And that's so fun to watch. You've already done the work, and now you get a video on top of it too to help promote and show people your process.
Yeah.
Well, I like to do that, and she likes to do it too, and it also keeps us honest with the AI thing. So big right now with people using it for illustrations and that.
It's kind of scary how good it's getting, but I'm really hoping that you can feel the heart and passion with what you guys are doing. And I think that's going to, at the end of the day, show through in a lot of this AI stuff. And hopefully human writers and illustrators are going to come out on top.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think so.
The AI stuff is it's so perfect that it's got almost a cold feeling to it, and it doesn't have a personality.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what it lacks. And I don't know if it will ever have a personality, because there's got to be someone behind the image to give it personality. So I think it has its purpose, for helping you like writer's block or something like that, with, getting some dialogue corrected, like grammar issues. But as far as images, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I agree. Landa, what is your process with coming up with a story?
Mostly it's just, I think of a story, I write it down, and then I read it to Tom, and then we go back and forth, and he says, what if this happened in the story? And, then I just get thinking about it and then revise it a little bit more. And then eventually when the two of us have it to the point where we think we want it, then it just goes to an editor.
Mm-hmm.
And that editor does the developmental editing. And the first time that happened to me, when I got the email with all the changes, I was just like, I was heartbroken. She wanted to change so much. And I just was like, no, I don't, we love the story. But then after I gave it some thought, I mean, she used to work for Disney, and I mean, she's a professional. Wow. So I got thinking about it, and most of her changes, I'm like, she's right. Those would make it better. So so that's part of the process now that we use is we make sure we get, second and third opinions and beta readers and, kids, just having kids read the story. That's huge.
Oh yeah, I bet. I bet that's pretty humbling. Like you have to set aside your ego when you're getting all those red marks metaphorically, back.
Right. Right. Same thing with reviews on Amazon. I mean, you don't ever want to get the dreaded 1 or 2 star review, which thankfully, I better knock on wood, we have not gotten.
That's good. Yeah. And sometimes you just get trolls on there too that just want to ruin somebody's day.
Yep.
Yeah, we've seen that with some other authors, and it's terrible.
And people don't realize how much that can hurt somebody. Oh, yeah. Not just like your feelings, but that could prevent future sales and everything else.
Yeah. I mean, let's face it, anybody who goes to look for something, they're going to look at how many stars and see the rating, because you want something that people value as a good product. And if they see 1 star, they're like, I don't know about that,
Yeah. So where can people find you?
The Granola Squatch is on Amazon right now in 3 formats: ebook, paperback, and hardcover. We don't have that on our website yet. We're waiting until we get the other 3 in the series done, and then we'll think about getting hard set or offset copies that we have on our website. On our website, gammaburstbooks.com, you can find Franklin in hardcover, and you can find Time for Color, a book about joy.
And I'll have links to everything in the show notes. So people listening right now, just click on over and you can find Tom and Landa's beautiful books. And before we go, what is one tip you have for someone who would like to connect with nature?
I guess I would say just keep kindness in mind. Kindness goes a long way with animals, with trees, with everything that's in nature. So just be kind.
I want to thank you guys so much for being on the show.
Well, thanks for having us. It's been awesome.
And until next time, get outside and see what develops.
Thanks for joining Wild Development Studio. We hope this exploration into the world of wildlife arts and adventure has sparked a desire to get outside and connect with something wild. If you have an adventure that's awe-inspiring, don't hesitate to share. Click the link in the description to submit your story to have it featured on our show or be a guest. Until next time, keep connecting to the wild and see what develops. The views, opinions, and statements expressed by individuals during not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Wild Development Studio or its affiliates. Participation in any activities, expeditions, or adventures discussed or promoted during our content may involve inherent risks. It is strongly advised that individuals conduct thorough research, seek professional guidance, and take all necessary precautions before engaging in any such activities. Wild Development Studio, its representatives, or employees shall not be held responsible for any injury, loss, damage, accident, or unforeseen incident that may occur as a result of participating in activities inspired by or discussed in our content. By choosing to engage with our content or act upon any information provided, individuals do so at their own risk and discretion.
The wow, I'm gonna have to edit that part out. Like right on the other side of the, why are there balloons? See that? What just happened?
Rating.